How are you? I am feeling great. Praise God and amen. So, in this video, we're going to be discussing how to let go of a loved one. How to let go of someone that you have loved with everything in your being. You have loved them more than you thought you could love anyone. You love them at times, it seems, more than you loved yourself. And for whatever reason, you are coming to the point where you just have to let them go. And it's hard. It's difficult. You're having a tough time moving on. You're having such a hard time just letting go. And I want to talk to you about some of the ways that you can make that break be less painful, less stressful, easier to some extent. How you can take the word of God and use that and get your strength from Him. So, I know I'm not the first person who has experienced a difficult breakup. You know, everything is going great, and for whatever reason, that person wants to end it. And you are blindsided. You continue to hold on. You love them, and you thought they loved you. You know, you don't know where this is coming from, but they don't want to be with you. And it's difficult to come to the realization that there is someone who does not want to be with you. You can't force them to be with you. We can't make people love us. We can't hold them hostage in a relationship, you know, if they are feeling unfulfilled, if we are not, you know, what they want or what they're looking for. They have every right to move on with their life and to get involved in a relationship that serves their purpose. But at the same time, it does not negate how you're feeling. It doesn't mean that your feeling of loss, of hurt, or even anger, resentment, just also shaking your trust. That's valid. And those are all natural responses to losing someone. Now, even though you are not losing them in the sense of they're going to be dead and gone forever, it does feel like a devastating loss when we have relationships that end. Some people do feel a sense of, or a period of mourning and grief when they lose someone, and it's just, you know, they're gone. So one of the things that I like to do, and I have dealt with heartache, I don't know how many times, too many to count, and you would think it would hurt less and less, but it doesn't. I do know, because I've gone through it more times than I care to count, is that it does. I know that I've gotten through it before, so I know this time is no different. Yeah, it's hurting, but I understand it's temporary. So any heartache that I feel in that moment, because I've experienced it so many times before, I know this is temporary. You know, I'm feeling this pain right now, but give me a few months, a few weeks, it'll be over and I'll meet someone else, because why not? I'm a great person. But that's the mentality you have to have. You have to look at it as if they are doing what's best for them. And just because they're doing what's best for them by ending the relationship with you, it doesn't mean that you are not the best version of yourself. I want us to start to think about when people decide that we are not meeting their needs or they don't want to be with us, it's no indication of us being a bad person. It just wasn't a fit. It just wasn't what we needed. And in hindsight, once you get out of that, you move on, you will meet someone else. You realize, thank God that ended. You know, when you think about what you settled for, what you were dealing with, and you start to really be honest with yourself and decide, you know, was I with this person because I was lonely, or was I with them because I truly loved them and they really, you know, we were equally yoked. I enjoyed them. I trusted them. They did everything. Now, if the answer is yes, then, you know, you are going to feel a little more pain. But when you ask these questions and that answer is no, then You have to be glad that that relationship is over. You have to be glad that God has cleared your path for someone who deserves you, someone who's going to treat you right, someone who loves you, someone who gives you the love that you want, desire, and need. And so instead of looking at that situation, at that loss, as if, you know, I just feel like I just wasn't the one and I'm not good enough, you are great. You are more than great. And a person who is for you, they're going to see all that special stuff you have to offer. And they're going to love every single part of you, flaws and all. And they're going to bring out the best in you. They're going to love you in a way that nurtures you and supports you and grows you. Yes, it's true. And so during that time, instead of thinking about how you didn't measure up, I want you to focus on all the great things about you. Take time to self-reflect on what makes you special and what your strengths are, what you bring to the table, the qualities you have and desire. And I'm not talking about, the superficial things, surface level, beauty is only skin deep. But get to the root of it. Who are you? Your characteristics. Because we all know the beauty fades. And when all that is gone, all you're left with is your soul. And your soul shows up in your character, in your values, in your morals, in your integrity. That's what's beautiful. And so when all that physical stuff is gone and people see how you treat people, your character, that's what's going to show and shine beyond all of that. So when you have that to fall back on, you're going to always be beautiful inside and out. And if a person is not able to see that about you, then that tells you right then and there, they weren't going to stick around. Anyone who is only with you for surface level reasons, they're going to always be looking for the next thing, because nothing is ever going to be good enough. And that's not a reflection of you. That's a reflection of them and their insecurities. And a lot of times we'll allow them to project that onto us when really they're saying they feel inadequate. And we take that on. We hold on to it as if, it's a personal indictment on us as a person. And that's not true. It's not true at all. So when you are feeling like, you want to hold on to it and you want to run back to it, you have to remind yourself that you deserve so much more. Why settle for crumbs when God wants to give you a buffet of the best? Why settle for little tiny crumbs just sporadically dispersed to you from someone who is selfish, doesn't care about you, is only concerned about their best interest? Why do that when you can be open to receive the best of it all? When you're holding on to something that has served its purpose and has expired, you are blocking your own blessings. And you can't blame anyone but yourself. There's no one else that's stopping you from receiving the goodness of God. You're in your own way. You're in your own way. And that's when we need to stop and take a look at this verse that talks about how we should not be anxious for anything. When you're anxious and not trusting God, it's definitely going to be difficult to let go, because without placing that trust in God, you feel that burden of trying to figure everything out on your own. And we cannot figure everything out on our own. We need God. We need Him to, give us the strength we need. And it's going to take the strength of God for you to move on. Because what will happen is, and I really can't speak for anyone, but for my personal experience, the relationships that I've been in where they ended and it was hard for me to let go, and the person knew it was hard, they knew that they can always come back. They knew that the door wasn't completely shut. They knew that if they said the right thing at the right time, that I would possibly, more than likely, let them back in. But when I started putting my faith in God, when I prayed to Him for that strength, and I went to Him in prayer and supplication, He gave me the peace I needed. And that comes directly out of Philippians. And let's see. It's a verse in Philippians. I can't find it right now. But be anxious for nothing. Nothing. I think it's Philippians chapter 5, verse 4. Philippians chapter 4, verse 6 and 7. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Jesus Christ. So, this verse tells you right here, you want peace. You want peace. You want to be able to move on from this relationship. Take it to God in prayer and repetition, and He will give you the peace that you need, that you can only get from Him. You can't get this peace from anywhere else. And so that's one verse. Another one is, you have to just be okay with letting go. And I know it's hard to let go of something that's familiar, something that, has been around for however long the relationship was. But just because it's familiar, just because it's what you're used to, it doesn't mean that that's all there is. It doesn't mean that nothing else better can come along. It doesn't mean that you need it. Because a lot of times we hold on to things that have expired. They have served their purpose. Everything has a season. Everything has a season. Not everything is meant to last forever and be around constantly. I don't know if any of you have seen that show Hoarders, where these people hold on to things, physical things, and they hold on to the point where they have no room for nothing else. If you've ever seen that show, their houses are just full of what we would perceive as junk, but it has value to these people who hold on to it. And they hold on to it, they keep it, and it gets to the point where they have nowhere to sleep. They have nowhere to eat. They can barely move. There's no place to walk. Sometimes it becomes hazardous, where when they actually have someone come in and clean it out, they have to have like a hazmat suit on, because now it's dangerous. Now, when you think about that level of holding on to something, and for those instances, those people on Hoarders, that's a manifestation of something deeper that's going on with them emotionally, mentally, psychologically, spiritually, and it has manifested in their outside environment to where they have all this stuff. So when you compare that to how we hold on to a person, the idea of a relationship, the thought of what they represented to us, and how all that clutters our heart, our mind, where we can't let anything else in, you are possibly blocking off what God has for you that's better than what you are holding on to. And not only that, it's heavy. It is heavy. It would weigh me down to hold on to that person, trying to, at least, because I'm trying to hold on, they're running away. But not just that, the idea of just, that hurt and the pain and then the resentment, because it's like, I want you, you don't want me, why not? And a lot of times they really can't give you an answer, or the answer they give you does not suffice, or, it just doesn't make sense. And it doesn't have to, because they have the right to do what's in their best interest. And when they are telling you, I don't want you, and this is something the elders would tell you, don't make someone tell you more than once they don't want you. When they have said that to you and made it clear, you need to, at that moment, do what's in your best interest. And your best interest is to love yourself enough that you are not groveling for the little bit of effort that they are willing to give you. Because if they can't give you the closure you want, have a conversation, just really take accountability for their part in the demise of the relationship, because it takes two. Every relationship we have with people, we're in it with them. We're not in it by ourselves. It's both of us in this. So it's never going to be 100% you. And if they can't talk to you, discuss it with you, come to a resolution, or at least agree to disagree, it tells me you don't care. So if you don't care enough to communicate with me effectively, to get to some type of resolve, then why do I want to hold on to that? And for me personally, when it gets to that point, that's when my eyes open. And then, once time has passed and I'm able to look back at it, I feel kind of like, girl, you was playing yourself. You was holding on to this person and they were like giving you the bare minimum. And even when they tried to leave, you was trying to hold on to that bare minimum. Because you will get to a point where you're able to look back and realize how little you accepted, how much your worth, you didn't realize your worth, how, these people took it for granted and they exploited it. Because people know who you are. They know that. And they know when you don't know who you are. So when you don't know your worth, you may not know it, but they are able to pick up on that. And they'll use it against you. They'll play games with you. They will do you any type of way because they know you don't value yourself enough to not let them do that to you. So when you start thinking about, why is it hard for me to let go? I want you to start thinking about why is it so hard for you to love yourself enough to let it go? Why is that? Why is it hard for you to love yourself to the point that you refuse to try to hold on to someone who has clearly shown you with their words, with their actions, they don't want you? That's it. They don't want you. That's not the last person in the world. That's not the only person in the world. There are billions of people in this world. Do you really think you can't find at least 5 or 10 more that will be like, you know what? I see something in you. Let's see what's up. They are out there. They are out there. That's what I tell myself. It's too many. It's too many of them out here for me to be just stuck on you. Like, no. They're out there. So you get out there, expand your horizons, try new things, meet people. There's plenty of things you can do. But what we are not going to do is claw and cling to someone who is not doing the same for us. It's not. Because the longer you stay in that situation, the longer you hold on to a person who has shown you in more ways than one that they don't want you, the more you are betraying yourself, the more you are denying yourself, the more you are ignoring your worth. You're doing it to yourself. So at this point, it's not even about what they're doing because now you're allowing it. So you are a co-defendant with them. Now you and this person are working together against you. That person is working against you and you're working against yourself. So stop and take a moment and don't place so much focus on the person that doesn't want you or you're having a hard time letting go. Instead of having a hard time letting go, I want you to focus on embracing you. Embrace you. Embrace the great person you are, the special dynamic soul that God created. Because I promise you, when you get past this temporary hurt, pain, all of it, you are going to more than thank God that He ended it. Because what He has for you is better than anything you can imagine. Anything. And like I said, I've been through this more than once, more than twice, more than 3 times. And I keep meeting somebody else, so it is what it is. At this point, I'm just happy when they finally say, you know what, it doesn't work. Thank you. Don't waste no more of my time. If I'm not what it is, move on, leave that door open or close it or whatever, because I need my path clear. I need to remove all blocks and anything from my path. Because if you don't want to be here, I don't want you here. Because I don't want anyone who doesn't want me. I don't want anyone who is not sure if I'm what they want. If you got to think about it, if you got to go back and forth, you know what? You can leave. Bye. I made the choice for you. You're right. This is not going to work. Thank you, but take care. So just think about that. Choose you. Choose you, because everybody else is going to choose them. People will choose them and they have no qualms about it. And that's what, I feel like you should do. That's what I started doing, choosing me. Started to be selfish. And it really, really changed my life. It was life changing. We're taught to share and give so much of ourselves. But when I started putting me first, it felt good. Because I realized I had been neglecting myself and no one has ever taken care of me or been so in tune with my needs better than me. So I have God who gives me everything I need. And if you can't come into my life and make it better, I don't need you to add to it. I need you to make sure you don't take from it. Because I'm happy. So don't come trying to steal my happiness. I have peace. Don't come robbing me of my peace. I'm joyful. Don't come stealing my joy. Because the last thing I need is, for that to be disrupted. And I'm sitting here, right now, enjoying life, feeling good. But let's say I do meet someone. Let's say I meet a person. And, I enjoy sharing my life. I'm happiest when I'm in a good, stable relationship. So let's say I meet a person and, they come along. Now, I have my happiness, I have my joy, I have my peace. So, and those are things that money cannot buy. So if you are looking to get involved with me and I tell you those are my priorities, and what you bring to the table does not enhance those things in any way, then what purpose would you serve? Because then I know God, you're not from God. God didn't send nobody that's going to cause me any chaos. I'm peaceful, but then, I'm thinking we're building something, and now I'm wondering, okay, it's like 11 o'clock at night. I don't know where you are. You haven't contacted me. So now my peace is gone because I can't trust you. I don't have peace of mind. I'm supposed to be in this thing with you. You're not doing what you said you were going to do. You're not giving me a safe place to be honest and open and to trust you. So then my peace is gone. And then let's say I find out you were with someone else. Now my happiness is gone. Now you've upset me. I'm sad. So it's like, no, I don't have time for all of that. But if you want to come, bring me some peace, some happiness, and we can, grow that together, great. I'm open to it. But anything less than that, I can't do it. And I know there are some people who want someone so badly that they will sacrifice their happiness, their peace, their joy, just so they are not alone. And I cannot understand that. I know there were a few relationships I was in where me and the person would get into it and they would leave for days. And I found myself, thinking like, dang, I'm glad they're gone. I feel better. I have peace. I'm happy. I don't even know if I want you to come back. Stay gone. You ain't even got to come back. And once it got to that point where they would leave and I no longer cared if they came back or not, or I was more content when they were gone, that was like, then why I need you here? You can stay gone. I don't even need that, because you bring that chaos back. So stay gone. The door is shut. Once you leave, don't come back. And now at my age, I'm married now, but when I wasn't, it's like once it's over. I don't have time to go back and forth with you. My time is valuable. So I hope this message helps someone out there. I hope you're able to let go and let God, and open yourself up to who He has for you, what He has for you. Because I promise you, it's so much better than what you're trying to hold on to. It's so much better than who's trying to leave. But focus on loving you. Focus on being the best version of yourself for you. Because when it's all said and done, at the end of the day gonna end. And when it ends, it's just gonna be you and yourself. You come in this world by yourself, you leave by yourself. And those people we meet along the way, we love them, we care about them. But when it gets to the point that you have to sacrifice so much of who you are, then that's not good. You gotta let it go. And that hurt, that pain is temporary. It's temporary. It's not gonna last forever. So be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. I'll be on here again tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. live. And share this message with someone you know is having a difficult time letting go. Spread this message, share it, leave me some comments, tell me what you liked, what you didn't like, all that great stuff. And follow me on all social media platforms at I am Jamila Naila. You all take care, stay safe, be blessed, and I'll see you soon.